Earlier, Scott said for me to get up here and speak up and then shut up. So, no, he didn't say that. What's that? The other Scott. Okay, we got that straight now. Our daughter Jen, when she was in college, was with, and that's them on the screen now. They have two lovely kids. I have those weak tear ducts, so and so they were getting ready to go to a mission field, and they told them it would be about 2 years before they could raise support or enough support. So they started raising
June of 2010.
June of 2010, and when did they leave?
April 10th of 2011, they left for Taiwan. They raised all of their support in about 6 months. So it was God's doing all the way. Then they were told to get their visas, it'd take them 6 months. It took them 1 month to get visas for all 4 of them. Again, it was God working. When they got to Taiwan, they didn't have any place to live, so they stayed with one of the other missionary families, and most of them are right down in the city of Taichung. Well, they kept looking, couldn't find a place that anybody wanted to rent to them because they don't like to rent to foreigners. Well, they were led to this house up in Fenyang, and lo and behold, they got a 4-story townhouse. It's got 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and it's equivalent of $600 a month. And it is where God wanted them to be. They want you guys to know their family is doing great. Ezekiel and Asher are picking up the Mandarin Chinese very rapidly. Jen and Derek, their main focus the first 2 years is language school. They are taking classes 2 to 3 hours, Monday through Friday, in Mandarin Chinese, and then they're expected to go out and 4 hours a day converse with people in Chinese. So it's very intensive. And Jen was very bright, didn't have problems learning, but she said, "Mom, this is the toughest thing I've ever done in my life." So they need the prayers for them learning the language. They have 3 different focuses right now. One of them is foster care. On Father's Day, they got a call and said, "The orphanage has too many newborns. We can't take any more. We have a baby boy that was just born this morning. Would you take him?" So they have a newborn child in their home as well. And in Taiwan, the first month, mom and baby stay in the house. They don't go anywhere. So Jen and Derek, they're not going to stay home. They've been taking this newborn with them. Max has opened hundreds of opportunities for them to witness why they're in Taiwan and what it means. And everybody says, "Well, why do you have this Taiwanese baby? You're not Taiwanese." And Jen said, "It's what our God wants us to do." In James 1:27, he tells us we should care for the orphans and the widows. So they're very involved with that now. Another one that Jen refers to as her Mossburgers ladies. Mossburgers is like a Burger King or McDonald's, and they usually go there after language school to get lunch, because by that time, Asher is really starving. They noticed this group of Taiwanese ladies that were speaking English, and they always had these books with English written. One day, they were reading a poem, and Jen said they didn't understand it. You could tell by their questions they were asking what it meant. So Derek said, "Jen, go talk to them." So she went over, explained the poem, and as she's got to know these ladies, one of them, after all the other ladies left, said, "Jen, you said that you have this baby because your God tells you to take care of the orphans." And she pulled out a Bible. She had been studying with a missionary a couple years ago, And so she said, would you teach a Bible study with me and my friends that come here every day? They wanted me to ask you that. So she has now started a Bible study with these Mossberger ladies. Derek has gotten involved with of all people, the garbage collectors. Their garbage collectors are nothing like ours. Every day you'll hear what sounds like an ice cream truck coming down the street, but it's the garbage collectors. And everybody runs out with their garbage and puts it on the truck. Well, they started talking with the garbage collectors and Airsoft. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but Derek knew what it was. They get involved with Airsoft. So now Derek and all the men of the missionary team are playing Airsoft with the garbage collectors. And sometimes they're serious about it. They'll travel an hour to a site. Well, they're all in Derek's van, so they have a captive audience. They use that as a witness opportunity also. The picture that was just on the screen is one of their city. Their city is about area-wise the size of Marshalltown, but there's 2.5 million people in that area. So they could have a church or a study group in their neighborhood, and people 2 blocks away would never know about it. So the job is huge for them. Their other big focus is their sports and English camp. Every summer they have a 1-week camp for Taiwanese children or kids. Usually they're junior high school age. And usually they would split them up so that the kids would get to know other people from the island. But this year, they all had it put upon their hearts that they needed to keep them in groups located by their geographical area. One of the churches that sponsors one of the missionaries asked, is there anything we can do for sports and English camp? They said, yeah, we're going to offer the kids to start a transform group. And what that is just a home study. So this church said, well, we'll make t-shirts for those kids. How many do you want? They said, we thought maybe 4 or 5 would come forward. But the church said, we're going to step out. We're going to make 60. On the first night, 60 kids came forward and said they wanted to start a transform group. So the missionaries have each stepped up to help these kids, and they will be responsible for praying for them, meeting with them, and they've developed a website for the kids to use as a resource material. Jen and Derek really wanted us to just let you know they appreciate your prayers. They appreciate the financial support, but they say the prayers are what they really, really covet the most. And as parents, we just thank you for giving our kids the opportunity to do what they're doing.